Welcome back to the sessions on the subject marketing management. Myself is Umrez, working as an assistant professor, MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. MLR Institute of Technology, Hyderabad. In the previous session, we addressed about marketing strategies and plans. Now, in today's session, I will discuss about marketing research. Now, with respect to this marketing research, in this session, we will cover what is the basic definition of marketing research and what is the purpose of marketing research and how we can conduct the marketing research. So, before going to enter into that, what is marketing research and why we need to conduct this marketing research? So, generally, research means a process of investigation. Why to investigate and what is the need of an investigation in the subject like marketing? Basically, yes, all the activities of marketing depends on a product. Now, what is a product? Bundle of benefits. Which product needed to be manufactured? How to promote a product? How to fix a price of a product? Everything should be based upon either the customer or the market structure, government. There are different factors that will influence us. How we can find out all the information required in order to take a decision means for that is we will use the basic concept that is marketing research. So, marketing research plays a key or essential role in success of any business. How we can define this marketing research is the definition of marketing research can be defined by you collecting all the various activities involved in the process of marketing research. That is, it is a process. That means here we will use certain systematical steps, some defined steps that we will use in order to identify, analyze the data. Now, what we are doing in this process, we will collect. That means what we are going to collect. For example, we want to develop a new product. Now, what should be our product? We want to find out that. Now, for that, what is required? What is the need of the customer has to be identified. So, we are collecting the needs of the customers. For example, our product got failed in the market. We are unable to succeed. We are unable to reach to break even. What we need to do? Yes, we need to find out the reasons for our failure. How we will do that? Yes, by collecting the opinions of customers on our product. So, here, yes, either it might be opinions, feedback, we are competitors analysis is we are collecting the data that is required for our decision making. Now, what we will do this with this data? We have conducted a study on a market of 1,000 customers, 1,000 public people. Now, all the data, whatever that we have collected might not be useful. Ready-made data that can be used for decision making. What we need to do with that? We need to organize. That is, segregation of data, tabulation of data has to be done here so that we can able to use that data for decision making. Now, after organizing the data, the next one, the data needed to be analyzed. So, what is present in the data? Insights into the data can be analyzed. Now, after analyzing this, why we are doing all these steps for decision making. Now, for decision making, the marketing researcher is not the decision maker. Marketing researcher is an individual or an organization who will collect and analyze the data according to the needs and requirements of the clients or the organizations. Now, this analyze the data has to be communicated so that the right decisions can be taken and communicated information that can be used in order to make informed marketing decisions. So, why we will do all these things means so that the organization can able to take right decisions. Effective decision making will be possible when we will conduct research. So, whenever we have taken a decision by conducting the research, then definitely the success of that will increases. These are the various simple definition for marketing research. Now, what are the basic objectives? Why or when the marketing research can be conducted? See, there are, as we said, the basic element to analyze, to identify what are the needs of the customers. Our company want to introduce a new product to the customer. Which type of product that we want to introduce? So, for that, let us conduct a research to find out what are the needs, requirements of the customers. Now, explore the new market. Now, we want to expand our business. expansion of the business by entering into a new market. Now, what is our new market where we need to enter? There are different case studies that suggest to us here. For example, like we have a product, our product or our category product is not available in a location. Shall we enter into that location to start our business? Means there are two types of elements includes here. That is, one scenario, the people don't know the need of that product, because of that they are not using. That is one scenario. Whereas on the other hand, the second one that we have, the people don't want to use that product. So there is a very complete opposite definition to both the elements that we have. Now, what is the situation there? To analyze, to identify that, yes, we need to conduct market research. Next one that we have, it is minimizing the marketing cost. How this marketing research will minimizes the cost of marketing expenditure. Marketing expenditure, for example, advertisement that we have. We are telecasting an advertisement and we are spending a lot of money for designing an advertisement, publishing an advertisement. And now once we have published that advertisement, are we able to get the right outcome from that or not? How we will find out that one? Based upon the sales of a product. When it will happen in a successful way, means when we have telecasted our advertisement to the right category of people in such a way that it could be able to reach. Now, what are the right media channels? All that we will identify by using marketing research. Ultimately, the marketing expenditure like advertisement, promotional expenditure will decreases. Now, in order to diagnose opportunities and threats. Now, by conducting the marketing research, yes, every organization will identify what are the possible opportunities for them in future success, and at the same time, what kind of threats, problems might arise to their business organization. Improve the quality of product. How? When we will conduct the marketing research, we came to know what are the latest technologies that are available in the market. By implementing such technologies in our production system, in our activities of business, yes, the quality of a product will increases. Set fair pay. Fair pay, here we can say that acceptable pay, acceptable prices. Now, how can we define, how do we find out what is the right price for our product? Price always does not mean only the cost of production. It is under the control of that organization. So whatever I have spent, can I get back the same from the customer? No. In a competitive era, it is not at all possible to get back the money by using cost-based pricing method. What we need to do, we need to analyze both the customers as well as we also need to analyze our competitors, so that we can able to find out, we can able to fix the right price to our product. So right price fixing we can use in order to avoid product failures. Why do a product can be failed? There are plenty of reasons that we have. For example, the customers don't want your product, like the second scenario that we have seen. In such a case scenario, what happened? Even though we are providing a quality product to the customers, they might not accept. That means we should find out what is the right place for our product. The other reasons that we have, for example, like let us consider we have developed a product with certain limitations. How we will find out that limitation? Customer feedback. How we will get that one? Customer feedback can also be a part of marketing research. So by using such type of activities, yes, we can able to reduce the failure of a product and at the same time forecast the sales of a product. It is very essential that safety stock needed to be maintained. At the same time, excess of stock needed to be reduced. Then how can we balance between the safety as well as the excess of stock? Means by using effective forecasting. How we will do this effective forecasting? By conducting the marketing research. So these are the some of basic objectives that the organizations can use in order to conduct marketing research. Now, how we will conduct? Okay, an organization want to find out what is a new place for their product. Now, how can we conduct this marketing research? For that, there are various steps involved in the process of marketing research. The first step that we have, it is problem identification. We need to first identify what is the problem. Now, why we are saying problem identification is the initial stage. Research, investigation. Why we are doing that investigation? To get a solution. When already that we have a solution to certain alternative solution to a problem, then do we need to go for an investigation? Means no. For example, if I am suffering with a mild fever, I know that clearly if I will take Dolo, I will be recovered. Do I need to conduct the investigation? Means no. For example, an individual is suffering with certain diseases, but they could not able to, doctors could not able to find out, trace out what are the reasons for that. Investigation is required. So what is the basic step for any kind of investigation? Either that might be social research or it might be a scientific research, is problem. Whenever we have a problem, then only yes we can. Now how to identify the problem? How can we define a problem? What is a problem means? Yes, problem represents deficiencies. Whenever we have, if something is not going according to the standards, specifications, then we will consider that as a problem. Now when we will define a problem in a clear sense, that problem itself will give half solution to us. For example, like let us consider I could not able to complete the exam because I have not prepared yesterday. It means what is the solution to that? Don't prepare for the exam before the day. Yes, you are sick yesterday, because of that I could not able to prepare and write the exam very well. The ultimate solution, the problem itself is giving a solution that you should be ready for the exam actively. So whenever we will define a problem in a clear sense, ultimately it will give the solution. So define a problem in a clear sense. How? Identifying and defining a problem or opportunity is a crucial first step in any marketing process. With the problem only as the research or investigation will be started. When defining the problem, it is important to think in a broad sense. Why to think in a broad sense? Because to find, clear definition will come whenever we are thinking in a broad manner only. When, for example, when we have defined a specific reason for any problem, in that case we always go in that with that specific reason. There might be any other challenges. For example, decrease in the sales of a product. The company is feeling that lack of advertisement is a problem because of the sales have been decreased. If we are going only investigation conducted with this reason, we might not able to reach to the actual problems, reasons for this decrease in the sales. How we need to go? Decrease in the sales, why it is causing? What might be the root causes for that? In a broad sense, we need to think like a broad sense includes the quality of a product. Broad sense include retailers, customer interactions. Broad sense include promotional expenditure or degree of promotions that we are giving. That also increases change in customer interest. That is also one of the reason. When quality product, reasonable price comparative to competitors, very good product at a very less price, all these things present. But now the customer taste and preferences has been changed. In that case, can we do anything by changing advertisement cost expenditures? Means no. So in order to trace out the reason, what we need to do, define the problem in a clear or broad sense. About possible causes, that is exploratory research can be conducted in order to find out the root causes for that. Defining the problem results in clear research objectives. So whenever we have defined our problem in a clear sense, objectives will be very clear. Marketing problem may be difficulty related or else opportunity related. So whenever we are conducting any marketing research, there are two type of things arises. Yes, we may find out the reason, solution to a problem that is already existing, or else in the process of research, yes, we will identify what are the opportunities for us, for our organization to expand or to go. For both, the prerequisites are defining the problem is identify and diagnose the problem. Now, first step in the research process is analyzing or defining the problem in a clear sense. Okay, we have defined our problem in a clear sense, and at the same time we also define our objectives. What might be the objectives as we listed just now? any of these objectives arises, or else specifically if we want to go, like these might be some of the objectives that we have, like understanding our customers, not only the needs. Yes, we want to do a complete study, consumer behavior that we want to do. So for that we can conduct, or else the evaluation of a product or service. Now whatever the products that we are offering, what is the satisfaction levels of the customers on that one? Why? Because if the customer is satisfied, then only we can able to make either the changes or we can expand our business operations. Analyze the market and competitors, very essential. When we will succeed in any business means, as long as we are competing with our competitors, as long as we are going according to the changes in the market trends, yes, definitely we will succeed. So for that, what are the trends going on in the market, that can be identified. At the same time, improve the marketing strategies. Now already we are using segmentation, positioning, or else targeting, advertising strategies. There are different pricing strategies that we have. So what digital marketing strategies that we have, there are many different types of strategies that we can use. Now we are already using, we want to make certain change in that one, so that the customer could not feel bored while watching our advertisement or while using our product. How we will do that one? Again, we need to go for research has to be conducted, so that we can find out what are the changes that are needed to the customers. So these are some of the basic purpose or objectives of conducting marketing research. Now once we have defined our research objectives, problem we have identified, research objectives have been defined, then what is the third step? Define the research plan. Now what is a research plan? Research plan represents, it is a blueprint, it is a framework. Now we are planning to conduct a research to analyze the customers. What kind of analysis that you want to conduct? For example, like a simple way that we can conduct, analyzing the customers that we are saying. Analyzing the height, weight of the customer is also an analysis. Religion of the customer is also analysis. Are we are going to analyze these kind of factors or something else? We should be clear about our research elements, research questions or research data which we want to collect from the customers, and how this data needed to be collected, how to interact with the customers, because the customers, no customer will give the data at their interest. How to create that interest, how to meet our customers, because the customers might be busy, how to make them to spend some time so that they'll become a part of our research. All such type of elements can be defined under a research plan. After defining the research problem and deciding the research objectives, the research plan must be developed. A research plan is a master plan specifying the procedures for collecting, analyzing the data that is required. For example, we want to know the customer opinion. How do we conduct? We can give certain physical material like a questionnaire that I will print and distribute. That is one way that we have. Otherwise, what we will do, we can send a mail or WhatsApp to the customers. From that as we can collect the data. So, or else a Google form can be prepared and shared to the customers. There are different ways to collect the data. So, how we want to collect the data for our research at the specific time, and at the same time, how to analyze the data. What type of tools that we will use so that the data can be analyzed accurately. It helps in estimating time, cost and human resources required. Now once we will prepare our plan in a clear sense, then ultimately we can able to find out what is the time required, what is the cost, and how many labor or human being that are required. It is a simple example like a construction of a building. We have a big piece of land, we want to construct a house in that one. Now before going to start the construction itself, we should be clear about how many floors that you want to construct, what is the space that is required, all these elements, so that we will find out how much time that is required, either a 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, and at the same time what will be the cost of that one, 50 lakhs, 1 lakh, 1 crore, how much it is, and at the same time how many human beings are required. All these kind of elements we will prepare under research plan. A research plan is determined 5 vital aspects. Now whenever we are preparing a research plan, there are 5 different aspects that will be focused. The first one that we have, it is data sources. Either we are going to use the primary fresh hand data or already existing data. Yes, we should prepare. If it is first hand data, then what are the sources? If it is second hand data already collected, what you want to use, the research reports, journals, what we want. Next one, approaches. Like let us consider we want to use primary data sources. Now how to approach to the customers? How can I meet to my customers? So there are different ways, like observations that we have. Without asking anything to the customers, just we will observe what they are doing, how they are purchasing, what kind of products that they are purchasing. From that we will analyze. Otherwise, focus to groups that we have. A group of people will be identified, and by analyzing those people as we can. Otherwise, the last one that we can also use certain type of surveys like questionnaire distribution and all. Through that is we will find out what are the approaches, how to meet to our customer to collect the data. The next one that we have, it is research instrument. Now I want to go for face-to-face interaction with my customers. Now in the face-to-face interaction there are different ways, like interviews is also face-to-face, questionnaire is also face-to-face. Now which one that we want to use? Or else when we are going with secondary data, then what kind of elements that we need to prepare, secondary data sources that we should be ready, all that will be analyzed here. After we will define our research instrument, then we will move on to the next step, that is sampling plan. Now under this sampling plan is we will identify what will be the size of customers. Now from whom that we will consider respondents for our research, and at the same time how many people that will be included, how to draw that sample. Either we will use random sampling, simplified quota sampling, convenience sampling, which sampling method can be used. Why this is an important factor? Depending upon the type of sample that we will use, the interpretation, the perception of the people might change. So selection of the right sample is very important. Now once we will select this one, next contact method. How we want to contact, either personally, through the mail, through the social media, different things. So all these are the various steps that involves in the process of developing a research plan. Once the research plan is ready, now we are very clear what kind of data that we need to collect, from whom that we will collect the data. The next step that we will have about collection of information. Now we have selected the method or instrument to collect the data. Now it is the time for executing that. The most expensive stage of the research, collecting the primary data by interviews, observation and experimenting, can be done by the people or machine. Nowadays, as the technology increases, marketing information system is one of the concepts that we have, through which as we will find out how to collect the data and how to interpret or analyze the data. It is prone to errors. For example, some respondents may not be available whenever we are trying to reach them. They must be contacted again or replaced by somebody else. Before going to conduct the research, yes, we should clearly define if the research, if the customers are not available, then what we need to do. Others may not be cooperate. Now there are certain type of cases where the customers are not cooperative. In that case, yes, they won't provide any genuine data, or else simply they will reject to provide the data to us. They give biased or dishonest honors. As somebody is asking you about the feedback, my company, and I am asking you the feedback on my company, definitely the people will give the right or positive opinion. That is what the biased data are and dishonest data that we have. It is difficult, equally difficult to motivate data collectors. Yes, in order to collect the data also it is very challenging task. Why? The customers are not ready to give the data with their intention. Largely they are the part-time workers. Why we will use the part-time workers for this one means, because to minimize the expenditure. The required proper training, incentives and supervision will be given to the employees, so that we can able to have the right kind of information that is available with us. Now once we have collected the information, the next step that we have, it is analysis of data. Now how to analyze the data? By using either different types of statistical tools that we will analyze the data that is required for the research. The value of research is determined by its result. Thus the data collected have to be analyzed and interpreted. Otherwise it is waste. We have collected the data, but it is not at all in a position to use that for the decision making. The researcher tabulates the data, averages and measures of dispersion, calculate some basic statistical tools can be applied on that one, so that we will collect certain information about it. Advanced statistical techniques are used for discovering the additional findings, different types of softwares that are available in order to conduct this research more and more effectively on a large group of audience, are available for data entry, data mining, as well as data analysis. So these are the various tools, emerging tools in the field of marketing, which we will use for data collection. Whereas the interpretation draws a specific and at the same time precise conclusion. So based upon the analysis that we have conducted, yes, we will collect a precise, right size conclusion towards our in the problem that we have. It helps in preparing a final recommendation and to the management. So based upon the data that we have collected, that we will prepare a presentation and we will give it to the management for approval. Now once the data has been presented, what is the next step involved? Presenting the findings. Because as we said in the beginning of the session, no marketing researcher is doing the research for their own self. They are conducting for a client or customer. So the client, we needed to project our findings to our clients. The researchers should present the findings that are relevant to the research objectives. So provide the research objectives in such a way that whatever the data that we are collecting, it will be a base for that one. It has to help management in taking decision making. So when we will provide the right information about the customer's competitor, then definitely it will be useful for the decision maker, the higher level management. It reflects the skills, qualities of researcher. What kind of skills and qualities that are required for the process of research, that we will identify here. Now how do we will present this findings to our either the management or top level? By using either the written format or oral format, or in some cases we will use both. And at the same time, different types of visual aids can also be used, like line charts, different types of charts, so that the data that we have analyzed can be reflected in a clear sense to the other audience. A well presented report indicates the confidence levels of researcher. How efficiently that you have conducted your research, that will be that will be communicated by using how well that they are preparing a report on that one. The researcher in presenting the strategies, and that helps in management decision making. So first we need to define the problem, prepare a research plan. Once the plan is ready, collect the data, analyze the data, and after the data has been analyzed, present this data to the management so that right decisions can be taken. Thank you. These are the various steps involved in the process of marketing research, which is one of the most important area for marketing. Thank you.